Hello everybody. Let me make sure that everything is going right. Hi Bruce King. Hi Elaine. Hello everybody. So we are going to finish the little goddesses. At least I hope we'll be able to. I should be okay. Hi Judy. I should be okay today. I went and I got shots in the muscles on my back, and that usually helps with the pain. So let's see. We have like 6 little goddesses from Sunday. Okay. Turn off the sound here too. All right. And the first thing obviously is to get them off the tile. And they come off real easy. I need to get this a little bit closer. Yeah, you should be able to hear me properly. Hi, Lori. Then, in order to get them nice and proper, what I used to do was to get some mud clay, you know, like this one. I have some that's not fully mixed. Awesome. Hi Leah. Yes, I am not bad. Hi Francis. So I'm going to get this mud clay and get it through pretty much about a 6 or a 7 on a Makins. Hi Janice. Because I don't need it to be too thick. The only thing I need it to be there for is for a nice back, and also to be able to insert the bail. Which, hi Selena, the bail is just a jump ring, pretty much. Hi Donna. So I got this, and the next thing I'm going to do is, number 1, I'm going to need some wax paper. No, you're not late. I just started, Gavin. And as I said before, I never use the little already cut things because to me they are too expensive. I paid like a little bit over $1 for this at my local grocery store. Because at this point I'm not going to bake them on the mirrors anymore because I don't want a shiny back. They are going to go on tiles, and they are going to be, the tiles will be covered by wax paper. Hi Robbie. And again, thank you Lori. And again, very careful if you have, usually look for the wax paper that has one side waxed and the other side more parchment-like, and place the side that's more parchment-like upwards. Then the best thing is to get a cutter that I didn't bring yet. Okay. Hi Kimba. So I'm going to pick a cutter that's just slightly larger. So see, this is the 7 pieces set of Premo. This would be too small because I want it to be a little bit on the sides too. So this should be perfect, and it's not too big for for a pendant. So what I'm going to do first is place a ton of bake and bond, or you can use liquid clay. As I said before, I prefer bake and bond because I think it bonds better, and not only that, but it's cheaper than the liquid clay. And always, whenever you work, make sure that you have a little paper towel close to you, because just in case. And yes, I was asked, am I going to show at any point how to avoid fingerprints, how to do this, how to... Yes, I will. I'm almost done with the house. And I started already working on some tutorials. But it was fairly bad because of the muscles on my back, so I'm really glad that I did this. Oh my God, Lydia. Oh, thank you. But where are you? Hi, Sharon in Alaska. I have friends in Alaska. My spiritual daughter is in Alaska. And I miss her terribly every day. And she's been trying to come to see me, but she's got so much stuff to do. And she started her own line of herbal stuff to deal with, you know, depression and how people can get in Alaska that cabin fever because they have such a long winter. Hi, Anna. Okay, and now I'm going to... What do you want? Oh, goodness, not again. You do? No, I don't have time to rub your tushy now. I think Whisper wants to go out. I have a feeling. Okay, give me just a minute, because he's going towards the laundry room. I am sorry, but I'm not putting him off anymore, because last time when I was doing a live and he came to ask me to go outside and I told him to wait. Well, at his age and with his health issues, he cannot wait. So after the live, I spent half an hour cleaning the laundry room. Kentucky shouldn't be hit just by the... And yeah, Virginia is iffy at this point. It's really iffy. I know my best friend's mother and sisters are there. She's not very happy about it, but at least one of her sisters used to live in Florida and is not in Florida anymore, so that's a good thing. By the way, pardon this for being a little messy because I'm still rearranging things, but what I wanted to show you, I found this on Amazon. It looked like hard to put together because it had so many little pieces, but it looks great. It's supposed to be for salons, okay? And I found it absolutely fabulous. It's on wheels. So I can put whatever I need for that specific project and then just pull it near me, you know, and it's got all kinds of shelves and then these little drawers in where I put the stuff that I use the most. And I'm going to use actually the middle one here. But yeah, I put it in the organizers in the Amazon influencer store. Okay, Leah, in Texas you have no problems, but it's just with the Carolinas, and I saw that until it goes all the way to Canada, it's gonna still be a hurricane. It's not a pleasant thing. So I put them here, and first I'm going to do a little bit of pressing, and after that I'm going to cut it. And I want to leave a little bit on top and a little bit on the bottom and a little bit on the sides. I'm going to put this right under the camera so you can see how I place it, because otherwise it's going to look from the side. And I'm watching actually the monitor to see what I'm doing here. So this should be just perfect. And as always, if you want nice clean edges, remove the stuff from around it. And I'm going to do the same thing with everything. And I don't want it too textured, you know, just a little hint of texture. And you want to press the edges that will be cut too, so you don't have just the... And I'm going to go just with 2 on each tile so I can work them easily. I might actually cut this in the middle, but see, again, I'm going to place it kind of in the very middle. And I got some questions on the Facebook page of what, because the ones that I showed you that I used to make look so with so many colors and with all no, these were from Scalpy, and I think I posted I baked them 30 minutes. I think I posted on the first part, because apparently they are in low demand. And talking of which, let me bring something from the kitchen when I go get Whisper back in. Okay, so there are several things that I wanted to show you. Number one, as I said, I was going to check on other face molds, and I saw these. They seemed a little bit too big. They're essentially chocolate molds. So I got them, but from the start what I could see in them is that, number one, they are super deep. So yeah, something could be done with them, but with the condition of using only the top, because look how deep they are. I mean, it's like for filled chocolates or something. They are babies' faces. And then I'll show you in a minute how you can use because I showed it before, how you can use best flexible molds, because these are in such a it seems like they don't make them anymore. And yes, somebody asked me if I would do goddess face molds. I might, you know, this is something that is very dear to my heart, so I might just make goddess face molds. But let's try this. This one is a little bit too stiff. Let me grab the living doll. And I'll show you why these are hard to work. And practically I would only use the smallest one, because you'll see you need to have some some area around to work with if you want to nicely embellish the little goddess. Oh, I forgot to... You know what? Let me put this up here because somebody might not see. Let me just add here on the writing on top. Okay. Yes. Yes, go ahead and take care of everything that you need to take care of, Lydia. That's fine. My live will still be here. You know that they get recorded and then you can watch them afterwards. Okay, let me send the lady the link. She's like, is the live on now? Yes, the live is on now. Okay. Alrighty. We are in business. So I'll show you what, because I could see it from the start. I didn't have to try it. I could see from the start what the problem is. Yeah, no, I don't think it's even worth bothering, Leah. No, I can make molds. I have stuff to make molds. That's not a problem. The problem is that I'll have to find somebody to make them, because with my health I cannot do tutorials and molds and everything else that I have in plan too. I'm actually planning on doing another upgrade to my website and switch to WordPress, because I don't know, the Joomla seems, a lot of people who are using Apple devices seem to have issues, and the Joomla seems to not be very cell phone friendly. And like 40, I think it was 47 or 48% of the people who watch my videos and go on my website are cell phone users. Okay, so this is how it looks like. It's definitely a baby face. So if I were to use this, I would go, number one, I would kind of reduce the forehead. I would pretty much go like this. I got it a little bit. So I would do it like this, maybe flatten it, but see, it's very hard to give this kind of stuff a serene face. Where's my readers? Where's my readers? Here are the readers. Sorry, now I have to wear readers. Hi, Becky. So, see, no matter how much I would try, it doesn't have that face, and you see they are not super polymer clay friendly. They are more for poured stuff. So definitely not what we are looking for. I'll probably just send these to somebody. I have a lot. And by the way, because I was asked when's the next giveaway, well, the next big giveaway is going to be on when I reach 15,000 subscribers. But I'm sure that I'll have a giveaway before that. You know how it is. Now, I said before finishing these, and they are all like this, they are baby faces. See where the face is all the way in the, but the thing wasn't very clear in the, they didn't look this deep, number one. They didn't look this babies, number two. But to show you how you can use, this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is Let's Face It, I think. Hold on, give me just a second, let me check so I don't give you wrong information. So it's from PolyClay Play, it's a best flexible molds, and I think it's the Let's Face It. Because there are two. You also have the Dolly Dangles, but the Dolly Dangles, the faces are fairly small. And because somebody asked me the last time, because I said that I would recommend to use the baby and the light beige, not the darker colors, because the details might get not so noticeable. But if you want to make a more African American looking goddess, or a more, you know, Hawaiian, yes, this is the Let's Face It. Both Let's Face It, and there's one more, I'm trying to find it, one more with faces, small faces. Is this small faces? No, this is Let's Face It, and there's another one that's small faces. And some of them have slightly, maybe not entirely African American, but more like Tahitian faces. So both small faces and Let's Face It are great for this. And then if you got any other ones, let me actually give you the link for best flexible molds. Yeah, I am doing good. Okay, this is where the best flexible molds are, and the Let's Face It, I think it's on like the 4th or 5th row. Okay, hi Army. Yeah, well, I still need to go, because at the last, when I had the last doctor appointment, see, with the right, everything went perfect, absolutely fabulous and all that. With the left, I don't see as good as I see with the right. And the problem is that on the left eye, I had, back when I was 19, I had scleroplasty. That's when they replaced the whole white thing that surrounds the eye. Because if my nearsightedness was growing so fast that by the age of 26 I would have been blind. And this eye is much weaker. Now on all testing, everything looks fine. The lens they put in is fine, the retina is fine, everything looks fine. Only that I don't see as well as I see with this right eye. And before going in, again, to change the lens, because it's probably like a -1 on this one. She wants the opinion of my regular ophthalmologist, because I also have Graves' eye disease, and I see an ophthalmologist at least once a year. And I had a post-vitreous detachment at one point, but on this eye. And she doesn't want to take any risks, so she wants me to see first the ophthalmologist to make sure that it's okay to go one more time. Can you, Joe, can you put the, if it doesn't let you put the link, just send it to me on Facebook, because sometimes it doesn't let everybody, it's YouTube, but it would allow the stream owner to post links. Try first to post the link, and if it doesn't work, send it to me on Facebook. Thank you so much. Okay, so this one you can obtain a serene face, even if it's not as round and childish, more Asian-like looking, but it's much easier to obtain. See how it has slightly Tahitian features, and the same as with the other ones, you gently enhance the closed eye. And then I'll show you a trick if you want to make her Caucasian instead of Tahitian, or if you want to make her more African American looking. So remember, we use the gum stimulator. Number one, see how the nose now is a little bit flat. If you want to transform her into more Caucasian looking, watch this. So I insert the tip of the gum stimulator and I lift. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Don't leave this like I did right here, because it's not a good thing. And then I'm going to put my both thumbs here and very gently press inside, and then here, and we already have a different nose. Why did I put it here, not here? And then I'm going to redo the nasolabial fold. And get the mouth with a little bit thinner lips. See, because they were all the way here, and I'm going to press them a little bit like this, and then enhance them with the same move as I did for the other ones. So you go with this flat, you go in, and then you switch it a little bit like this, and you press out upwards, and you get a nice mouth. And then you can kind of enhance the nasolabial fold here, and then again to get the lower lip. And you want to make her a little bit narrower to give her that long face, serene face, and she would look fine. But there's one more thing that we need to do, and that is the smile. So again, that tiny happy, serene, peaceful smile. We don't go too far, we just push this in and just a little bit upward, right at the corner of the mouth. Push it in and just a little bit upward. And now she is smiling. And if you want the smile more pronounced, then you just go a little bit more upward, and there you go. You can do them with the best flexible molds as well. Okay, let me finish these so we can start doing them. And yes, I was saying that I got quite a good number of texts asking me, well, that means to those who looked so colorful and you need a lot of clay and a lot of stuff. No, you don't. You actually can get just pearl clay, you know, and you don't need all kinds of micas and stuff. You can simply use, go to the dollar store and get a multicolor eyeshadow, and you can use that. But make it shimmering eyeshadow. You can use that instead of mica. If you are not familiar with that, I did 2 years ago, not long after I started the channel. I forgot to get my microphone. After I started the channel, I actually did a pendant that was done with absolutely no tools. If I remember right, I used a cup to cut a round shape. I use a pencil tip to do the texture. I use the bottle to flatten. What else? And I'd use eyeshadow. Pretty much. And it came up very nice. But if you want to go a little bit more than that, and if you want to go faster and not have to, you know, work at tiny things, you can definitely use a little, and I'll show you what I have here, and most of them you can find them either on PolyClay Play website or on my Amazon influencer store. There are little molds that you can add stuff with. And you can use a lot of scrap clay of various colors, like from canes and all that. Oh, come on. I put stuff on top of it and it got stuck. Okay, let me see. I might have to bitly it. Hold on. It's long. There you go. And this is the link for the Google Express, where you can find the mold. Yeah, something that just flared up my allergies. I don't know what it is. So, again, flatten, 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 flatten. Put it on. Cut it approximately. It's okay if it's not perfect, because this is going to be covered anyway. Okay, now we got them all nice and cut. And let me show you what you can use as molds to place embellishments. Number one, this is the best flexible molds. And if you remember, I did a necklace using these, and you have here, you have little flowers, you have little hummingbirds, you have dragonflies, acorns, leaves. So it's a whole bunch of stuff. Then I think this is from PolyClay Play. You can see PolyClay Play. Trish has a whole bunch. Yes, please do. Has a whole bunch of butterflies and flowers, and just check among, if you have molds, just check them, because you can find all kinds of things to work with. Like these ones you can find in the influencer store, and I tried them and they are beautiful to make little fern leaves. But talking of how many colors do you need to obtain something really, really pretty? Well, honestly, you can do it all with white, you can do it all with translucent, you can do it all with just one color. You can even do it with mud. I wouldn't suggest mud though, because it's a little bit too dark. But as I said, you can use old scrap clay. Let me grab it. Sorry, I'm looking for which box has them. And yes, I started arranging stuff to start taking photos. I started arranging stuff to start taking photos, and there's gonna be a whole bunch of canes for sale and in the distashes. So as you can see, I have a whole bunch of scrap clay that is practically sorted more or less by color, so I can just dip in this and create all kinds of pretties. And this should be good. This is not good. Okay, now let's get to work and create some embellishments for our little goddesses. It looks kind of like a daunting task, doesn't it? It's not, I promise you. I'm going to put this to the side here, and then grab the last. Awesome. In some of them you don't, in some of them you do, and I always advise to use Armor All on the clay, not on the mold, because if you put it in the mold, it might go into a crease and not get all the stuff that it needs. So let me get a little bit of this. It's some kind of whitish something. I have no idea what it is. I slept since I put this there. Yeah, it's souffle. It's definitely souffle by the feel of suede. Okay, and I'm going to make a couple butterflies, and I'll show you how to make stuff without molds as well, because when I was making those goddesses, I didn't have all these molds. They were all made by hand, but I want to show you how to make them with molds, because I know that not everybody is good at sculpting, and I lost my blade. This is a permanent thing with the blade. I always lose it. Okay, so using the pivoting blade, see if I have more. This is good. And it also depends, talking about the release agent, it depends on how flexible the mold is. The more you can do this to it, the easier it's going to take it out. Yeah, the best is to use a cosmetic sponge for this. Okay, let me make 3. No, let me make 1 here. And this other slightly larger one. Yeah, it might not work because it's got these. No, this won't work. I'll just make a regular one. This one is for pouring stuff. It's probably perfect for resin. Okay, let's try something else. So if I want to do a simple butterfly by hand, okay? And you can use a little teardrop if you have a Kemper teardrop. But if you don't, you can use one of these, or let me show you. Find it. Oh, there it is. You can use a needle. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because it's going to kind of move around when you place it. So you can just use one of these. Now, let me try and get a flower or 2. See, now these are a little bit firmer, so it's a little bit harder to take them, especially because they are deep, but it's not impossible. And let's get another little flower, or no, let's get a small hummingbird. Let's do this one. And remember when I did the angel wings heart pendant, I showed you how to transform one of these hummingbirds into a dove. And we can do, let me grab some green and make a, see, these are remnants from my malachite, for malachite. Not in all storage bags. Some storage bags get, the plastic of the storage bag gets affected by the clay, and you'll find goo inside instead of clay. Let's do a, which of them should I do? Let me do this one. It's a little bit larger, but it should be fine. And let me get the ferns. Where's the ferns? I have some other little ones. These I got on Etsy long time ago. There's the ferns. Got too much stuff here. No, this didn't work very good. Okay, I guess this is one of those that you need to put exactly the amount of clay that you're going to use. No, the best flexible molds are not oven proof, unfortunately. But see, this is a sugar craft, and remember I was telling you about the difference between a sugar craft mold and the polymer clay mold. That's a big, big, big difference. Let me see if I can do this. Kinda. These work much better with the resin. And what else did I want to do? That should be it. I'll show you how to do the rest by hand. So let me see what I'm going to do her hair with. Let me put this to the side. And I'm going to use this to do her hair. Yeah, Glad products are usually the best. No, I already knew. When I bought them. I asked Trish, and she told me that they are not. And it says on the PolyClay Play website that they are not oven proof. So let's make some strings. And here you can use any color here you might want. To do hair, you never need any kind of texture or anything. If you try to use a texture for hair, it's going to look like crap. Trust me. And it doesn't take long. I do this by hand. If you want, you can use your extruder. You can do much finer strands of hair, and especially if you're not very used to making thin strings with your acrylic block. It's better to use your extruder. Okay, now let's do something with one of these. Let's first give her some hair, and I'm going to place just a tad of bacon bond here and on the sides. And a little bit here just to be on the safe side. Okay, so let's give her some hair. Okay, I was starting to And you decide, each of them, you saw that the way that I was making them, they were kind of themed, like of the forest, of the prairie, of the sea, of the cherry flowers. I had made, sometimes I had special requests, like I had a special Japanese goddess request. I had Persephone, who was Diana, Pele. I'm trying to remember all the goddesses that I had at this commission, but they are not hard to make. Yes, I'm going to put mica powder on them. That's why I was telling you that you can use shimmering eyeshadow if you get one of those sets with a lot of colors. Yeah, maybe go a tad thinner. It's okay if it breaks, because you're gonna break it anyway. Okay. Now at this point, I forgot to bring there's something, and I think I should have some here. As I said, the bails are pretty much simple jump rings, or you can use a little bit larger jump rings, but I should have quite a bit of jump rings here. Yeah, this one is copperish. Gold. Yeah, let's just use that one. I'm making sure it's not twisted here, and I'm going to practically insert it here, pretty much in between the hair and the backing. And just place the hair on top of it. And you notice that I didn't really care how it looks here because I'm going to cover it. So let's go for this one to be a summer little goddess. And first, let me get a few mica powders. And you honestly need only, like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 or 6, not more, as colors go. Let me grab a little. Paintbrush. So this being the hair, I'm going to use some yellow. Hi, Mary. Actually, I need a larger one. Not super large, but larger. Because with that one will be here till morning. Okay, now let's give her one butterfly. And again, making sure that I have enough. Because remember, if you put mica powder, you might get some stuff not wanting to stick, but the best thing is to color it first, because you don't want the mica powder to drop on the hair that you just colored. No, these are my work clothes. I always go to Goodwill and buy a whole bunch of lounge stuff because I have the habit of wiping the paint brushes on me. Sorry, but this is from the time when I was painting. When you get the fit of creation, you don't really look much around of what you're doing. And definitely you don't care about getting your fingers dirty and your clothes dirty and all that. The ones of you who paint know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, now let's place the little butterfly here. And again, you can use all kinds of colors. It is completely up to you. And I'll show you how you can put some other kind of embellishments on them. I'll show you that as well. Okay, now let's give it a little flower. And of course you can use acrylic on these, not necessarily mica powders. Or you can use, because there's mica powders like the Decorum that give you like what, how many were they? Like 21 for, were they $11 or $12? And of course make sure that you press them so they'll stick nicely. Now let's do some let's do this leaf. This one is a tad thick, so I'm going to thin it out with some veining with a needle. No, it's still too thick. I'm gonna use this one. And yes, I will give you just a little hint of mica on the leaf too. And then we are going to place the little hummingbird, but let's color it first. Another green. I wasn't sure what I grabbed. Gelato? Not entirely sure I know what you're talking about. But yeah, you can use whatever you want on these. The idea is that I'm trying to show you how to make them the easiest. Because I kind of refined the process when I was making them over 10 years ago. Because they were so sought after and they sold so good. It's like everybody liked them. So I tried to refine the process to be able to make a whole bunch of them whenever there was time for a fair or when I was running low on my Etsy store. And I'm going to gently enhance the features on this a little bit. Not, I think I want one with the opened wings. I think it's going to do much better here. Yeah, it all you're talking about the gelato? No, I don't think I did. I used to use a lot Genesis paints when I was painting stuff. Okay, is this one bigger or this one? This one is smaller. Because it doesn't really have to be a hummingbird. You know, you can make it any other color. Okay, so a tad of green on the belly. And yes, you can use any, as I said, any kind of colors on them. And one of those sets of eyeshadow should work just perfect. Alrighty, let's put a drop of bacon bond in here. And I'm going to gently manipulate the bird. And then make sure it's well and there we go. This should be pretty much okay. If you want, you can add more little balls like pearls. I'm gonna get for the next one, I'm going to get the zoom effect in. So let's try some colored clay this time. And let me bring the zoom in This should be much better. Okay, let's grab some, let's see. This should work. Maybe let's make her with blue here. Because you can make them with any kind of colors you want. Yeah, remember that a lot of times I cannot know how you're seeing stuff. So if you don't let me know that you need me to get the camera closer or stuff, I don't know. You need to let me know. Let's make this one with blue here. And this one I'm going to make her with curly hair. And I'll show you how to make the looks. Remember the blue fairy of Pinocchio? Let's try and make her a little bit like that. So if I want to give the impression of curls, I'm going to simply start twisting this. But twist it to the point that you can see the twist. It's going to look pretty much like dreadlocks if you want. Oops. Okay, now we can do a little hummingbird here already. And let's make a little flower, and let's make it with a different color. Let's make a blurple flower. Blurple. Blurple. Did I say it right? Blurple? So even if your colors are not that well mixed, I'm too lazy to get up and get a little round cutter. I'm gonna just use this here. And we're gonna do a flower without a mold. And we are going to place this here. You need to kind of press it down to make sure it sticks well, and then of course we can simply put a little thank you, Rusty. Just put a little thing, or you can make it smaller, but you can put a little bit. I didn't get the white. Give me a second, I need to check on something. I hear some noises in the kitchen. Yeah, just making sure that corner's not okay. But another thing that we can do, and because I'm starting to get tired, I want to, before I cannot do anything else, I want to show you the sea stuff, because those were so liked. Let me get these out of the way and show you some sea things. Oh yeah, and by the way, I was also selling a lot of these little faces, because everybody wanted the little faces. Okay, now let me try and find the color for a starfish. So as you can see, I have all kinds of colorful stuff, and these are old canes. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get it through the pasta machine, and you see it's got all kinds of nice colors. If you don't have this kind of colors, just make it in one single color, and then you can put some whatchamacallit, mica powder on it. But I'm going to simply cut some very long triangles here. And they need to be 5, of course. Sorry, but this is very small stuff. I'm trying not to cover it with my hands, but it's quite small, and these have to be kinda in a pointy and on the wider end. Okay, now gently roll them a little bit. And then I can start placing them. Oh, come on. Get there. Now I'm going to make a little sea snail with some translucent, because I have a whole bunch of translucent here. And the sea snail is going to look like this. Where's my acrylic block? What did I do with my acrylic block? I put something on it, didn't I? Where is my acrylic block? See, remember when I posted on Facebook the other day that gremlins and stuff, how you work on something but it's 10% working on something and the other 90% looking for the stuff that you just had in your hand? Well, this is one of those times. On left. Okay, we're on left. Oh, there it is. I saw it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to make a little bit of a tapered string this time. I don't have I got all the toothpicks in the kitchen. And you can start in the top or you can start at the bottom. But anyway, you need to wrap like this. If you've ever seen one of my very first videos on the channel, it was about how to make an, hold on, I need to start it again. How to make an ammonite. It's too big. And it was exactly with wrapping stuff like this. Where's I don't have toothpicks. Okay, I'm going to just get this one in the middle like this to help me, because I don't have toothpicks here. This is just to start the whole thing. It has to be thinner. Hi, Miss Stella. Ciao, come vai? let's make a little dip here. And there we made a little sea snail. Let's get it colored a bit. And the moment you start working with the micas, as I said, you kind of need to place little droplets of bake and bond, because even raw clay, it will not stick to each other if it's okay, if it's mica in between. And let's make a seashell, just a seashell. And of course you can use regular seashells on her. Oh, she stays up late. My Stella Luminosa is from Italy, and it's 2:50 in the morning there. Okay, let's make 2. Because seashells are the easiest thing to make. You just do a little bit. They're almost teardrop. So I got this. Let me try and put it where you can see better. And then you can use either this or you can use the needle. And make sure that you do this, because usually they have those veins all the way. Oops. And we have one. And this one, let's make it a little coral sponge, sea sponge. So I'm going to flatten it gently, and I have a whole bunch of mica powder on my hands. I'm going to flatten it gently, and then of course you have to be all the way on the other side. I'm going to grab a small ball stylus. This is one way of making a sea sponge, like this. Let me show you the other way, because I have made quite a bit of sea sponges and corals when I was making mermaids. But you want to go fairly deep. And the other kind is to make it kind of like a ribbon. Okay, so let's make the sea sponge pink. And I'm using translucent because usually in sea-like, water-like inspirations, it's good to put a little bit of translucent. Judy was talking about thumbs up, but it's about putting them under the video, not on in the chat, because in the chat doesn't count. This is the yellow green, that's why it has different colors than what you'd expect. You see it green in here, but it doesn't look too green when I apply it because it's an interference. Okay, let me put a droplet of thing here and a droplet of thing here. And then I'll show you how to do one more thing. And another thing that you can make is a jellyfish. So to make a jellyfish, you first, of course, you're gonna need the tentacles, and you need the hat. You can do this with the edge of the end of a paintbrush or with a ball stylus, it's up to you. And we are going to place it here like this to start with. You want to have the upper area still up there. And then next we're gonna make some little strings. Come on. But they have to be quite thin, so again, if you want, you can use your extruder for this. And there we have a jellyfish. So now we have a goddess of the sea. Another thing that I was doing, and I'm gonna show you this real quick because I'm starting, but I guess I hope you got the idea of how to finish them, how to embellish them. And yeah, you can put beads on them, you can put little chains, you can put little threads and fibers. They look beautiful. But another thing that I used to do, and I'm going to show it to you in blue because I don't know what I did with the green. But for example, for the harvest and like grain and stuff, the best thing to do is to get a cylinder, a sausage, however you want to call it, cut it in two, and then simply do like a braid on it, and it's going to look like wheat. Remember what I was telling you, that a lot of times just is just seeing one part of an object that makes us think of the object. Like when I was showing you how to do the butterfly beads, and they weren't actually butterflies, they were just elements of a butterfly wing, but it would make people think of butterflies. The same here. This braided thing looks a little bit like wheat. So if you make it in a greenish yellow, and you can put it around her face, she would look like she's wearing braids made out of grasses, and all kinds of other things. And just use your imagination. As I said, if you put little pearls, little beads, little chains, the important is to make stuff relatively delicate, because you want it to match the expression of the face. Does anybody have any questions? Because I'm planning on ending this. I'm starting to be in pain, and I've been on for an hour and a half. Because if you don't think of anything right now, just write me either in the comments or write me on Facebook, and I'll be able to reply to you. But I hope you liked it and you figured out, you managed to see how these are supposed to be. And remember, I didn't put one on this one, I have to insert it, but you practically insert the bail between the back and the embellishments. And for the back, you simply put either silver acrylic or silver wax, and she's going to look just perfect. And this you put a bail, a pinch bail, and this is how I used to make them. And as I said, I was able to make, because I would make first, like, I don't know, 12 or 20. I used, because I didn't want them shiny, I used the regular satin scalpy glaze, because that one can be baked. So if I would want to add something more, then I could bake it. But if you think you're ready, I wouldn't make them shiny. If you make them shiny, they start looking like plastic. But if you make them satiny, then they are just fine. So I would make like a dozen of them. The faces, I would color all the faces, and I would make a whole bunch of little embellishments, and I would just decide, okay, this is the ocean, this is the ocean, this is the forest, this is the prairie, this is the flowers. So you can do them really, really easy if you are a vendor. And you saw how each of them looks different. It's not like you're making anything commercial, because each of them looks different. And I don't know, you'll feel a lot of fulfillment when you make them. And you can see they are really, really, really cute. They come up absolutely adorable. Okay, I'm going to go lay down and probably fall asleep, because I had a full day today. Okay, thank you for being here, and I'll see you all Sunday. Oh no, I'll see you Saturday, because it's the first Saturday of the month, so it's the monthly chat with you. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff, I promise you. Okay, see you Saturday and then Sunday. Have a wonderful evening and happy claying.